guy who invented arm weight technique, at least for the British. Breithaupt invented it for the Germans. And I had some lessons with her because I wrote my first book, and I thought, maybe I'm dissing arm weight technique, but maybe, Alan, maybe you should know a little bit more about the thing you're rebelling against. Because I was perceived as pretty much, antagonistic. And so I went to Carola for lessons. Why not get it from the expert? And the first thing she said was, okay, let the arm flop like this. Okay, fine, fair enough. I'm relaxed, but certainly I'm not going to play like that. And sure enough, the next thing she said, okay, now let the arm fall like this and just catch a note going down like this. Like that. But that note was not forte. The note was actually quite soft. Like that. So it's exactly what you said. We're feeling the weight of the arm. In order for it to relax, when it's relaxed, all the muscles are soft and fluid and sensitive. So sensitive, I'm going to slow it down now, so sensitive that they can actually feel the key and feel the finger interacting with that key like a rope. Like that. Totally loose, but totally sensitive. The next thing she had me do was, okay, do the same thing going up. Like that. Feel the weight of your arm. Yeah. But now the weight of my arm is a free floating entity. It's not a dead weight. It's alive. It's sensitive, even on the way down. It's sensitive enough that my finger can just get that key and very precisely make a movement. So how many of us who were taught arm weight technique had that information? Because I do a survey when people come to me, I ask them, and not many of them have had this explanation of arm weight given to them. It's more like the way that there's this horrible Lang Lang showing how to play a C major scale, and he's like, this is how I was taught. And then by the end, he's going up and herring up and down the keyboard, but he doesn't tell you how to get from here to there. It's assumed that it will happen somehow. And if you're lucky, it does. But if you're not lucky, you come to me. I mean, that's a facile thing, but you have to find a way to connect those dots, to figure out, okay, I got stuck at a certain point in the learning process. I need to fill in a few holes in my pianistic development to get me feeling good when I play. This feeling of being one with the piano and not struggling with the piano. It's like, I'm with it. Why would I struggle? So if there's a sense of struggle, then you have something to learn from piano somatics. Yeah. Yes, Dasha.
I have a question. Do you say that muscles don't take part in piano playing, or that we just should think about bones and skeleton rather?
Muscle tonus?
Do you think that the muscles don't take part in piano playing, or that we just should think about other things?
Of course they do. The muscles you couldn't do anything without your muscles. I mean, this whole thing about thinking that you're a skeleton playing the piano is to free the muscles from their overwork. The muscle, nothing's going to happen without the muscles. I like to talk about it in terms of we get caught between this fluctuation of tension and relaxation. Oh, I'm tense, I better relax. Oh, I'm relaxed, I'm dead, I better get some, oh, now I'm tense again. So in between those two extremes, there's activation. Activation, and of course, activation, that's the muscles activating. They're activating movement of the bones. All muscles are designed to open or close a joint. So all the muscles are moving the joints, opening and closing the joints of the skeleton in a way that moves the piano key well. So I talk about the skeleton not because there's no muscular involvement, but because that skeletal structure, it gives a context. It gives a point of orientation for every muscle. Every muscle knows where it is in this complex, this structural, functional entity called the human skeleton. Does that answer your question? And sometimes we do muscle building, like, you know, for instance, this thenar group. I mean, by the way, Pianimals is my children's method, where I took the 250 awareness to piano movement lessons of those 4 big books and I wanted to get it down to 12 lessons. Let's make it real simple. It's 28, but 28 is better than 250. And it's for kids. But the teacher's manual, people who bought it have told me that it helped their own playing, maybe more than all my books, because who's got time to read all those books? I'll bring copies of some of these tomorrow. I forgot to bring them today because anyway. So the one is the thumb corkscrew. The thumb corkscrew, where you just make your thumb as straight and even bend it the wrong way, and just try to screw like a screwdriver. And if you do that for a few seconds, even this muscle here, oh my God, it's really. But that just shows how much more power you could bring to your piano playing if that thenar group muscle was fully engaged. So there is muscle building. It's not just about dispensing this muscular activity, but it's discreetly intentionalizing the activity of the muscles, figuring out which ones need more, which ones need less. Yeah. Okay, one more question, then we have to move on to the next thing. Yeah.
Just real briefly, I mean, by your own admission, your method appears to be quite a sort of a striking rejection almost of the, I suppose, status quo of piano teaching or weight movement. I'm wondering, the pianists who you previously mentioned, would you cite them as sort of empirical evidence for the method that you're promoting, or could you name anyone? I mean, could you give sort of an example of whereby this sort of method comes into play, something where we perhaps view it for ourselves? And I'd also wonder about sort of your background into this, about you personally. I mean, you use quite sort of, I suppose, esoteric language.
Yeah.
Are you a biologist yourself, or?
This is a very good question, a very big question. My own background is that I grew up in Montreal and I had no piano. I mean, I had a piano teacher who basically didn't teach me anything. He said, play your scales and learn this Mendelssohn and learn this Chopin and learn this Bach. And he didn't, the first time I was told that, you know, if you make the right hand, you know, louder than the left so that it sings more, I was 18 years old and I was already in university. Like, I didn't know anything. I got to university, I heard this amazing, like through the practice room door, wow, this left hand is going like a son of a gun. Wow, I opened the door, what's that piece? This Chopin's Revolutionary Etude. I mean, I didn't know anything. So the upside of it is I was not trained in that weight technique, but the downside of it was that I didn't know anything. I lacked sophistication. I only had my musicianship. So then I found Phil Cohen, who started me on this other path, and so it seems to be, I'm contradicting the way piano has been taught. But like I say, I don't like couching it in those terms. I like saying that there's always room for improvement. I guess practically speaking, many of the old guys, I feel that they played like this. There's recordings of Rachmaninoff and Kochalski and Simon Barrère and who else? I'm blocking on the name. Ignaz Friedman. And their sound is so luminescent and free that to me that sound denotes, you know, the absence of this overly, I don't call it the weighted touch, the overly weighted touch. Horowitz, of course, was in our lifetime the shining example. There are others, and then Yeah, and you know, there are many, many pianists on the concert stage today play wonderfully. Yuzhao Wang plays wonderfully. She's definitely an exponent of the way, although her mother was a ballet teacher and got her to be hypermobile, so she's amazingly flexible. I think there's a way, if she had a little bit more of this, a little bit more, she might be able to get an even bigger sound, but her sound is already immense. So she's an excellent proponent of that style of playing today, Misha Dacic. But maybe on the other side of the coin, I don't want to name names, but a few years ago in Belgrade there was a whole concert series, 6 recitals, and some of the greatest pianists on the concert stage today. And uniformly, their fingers, like fast fingers, I would die if I had fingers like that. Amazing, great. Their soft playing, like incredibly beautiful, poetic. It's just like amazing musicianship, amazing pianism. They come to play forte, and all of a sudden it's this. And to me, none of them had a really truly satisfying forte. They're all working too hard to get their forte. So that's obvious. It's not because they're not a good musician. It's not because they're not a great pianist. These are great pianists, and I think, to my mind, there's a blind spot in the teaching, which I talked about earlier. Just when you want to play louder, you stand up quicker, and you avoid compressing the piano. And the Steinway soundboard loves that. The Steinway hates to be compressed, and it loves to be liberated. So I don't want to name names, but just about anybody around today. Look carefully. I mean, for me, the trouble is many audiences like it. I mean, they see this kind of, it's trying to play forte, and they say, "Well, that's good. Wow, he's trying so hard. It must be good." And to me, there's a way of sitting quietly and going, I don't feel like I'm playing loud. I literally don't feel like I'm playing loud at all. I just join my structure to the piano, but join this entire skeletal structure to the piano, and then you got. To me, it's just a travesty. What have we lost? It's like, but that's from the Feldenkrais point of view, because I'm a Feldenkrais practitioner for 30 years. You get a certain sensitivity about the use of the whole self to engage with whatever material you're engaging with. So I have a kind of a skewed point of view, shall we say. So, but like I say, I don't like being antagonistic. I don't think it's collegial. I don't think it shows respect for the amazing art in which we are all engaged. I really want to approach this from the point of view of dialogue. So if I fall short in that regard, my apologies, really, my sincere apologies. But I think there's something to be learned from this idea of the skeleton, this strange idea of the skeleton sort of being the context from the starting point from which we explore how to engage with our instruments. So we're going to have a sample lesson now, and then we're going to do a Feldenkrais lesson sitting in the chairs so that you actually sense just a taste, a slight taste of what this is all about. Okay? So a couple of you have said you wanted to, shall we do Dasha first? And then a couple of you have said you wanted to have Athena. Where's Athena? Athena? Don't tell me she's not here.
She's not here.
Oh, good. Because she wrote me, she said she wanted to be a part of this. And, okay. Yes, please. Yeah, sure, go ahead. Dasha, what are you going to play for us?
Sorry?
What are you going to play for us?
Beethoven Sonata Opus 31, number 3. The first moment.
31-3?
Yes, as you.
Yes. Yeah, great. hoping she would say Opus 31, number 1, second movement. This, that thing, which I just adore more than anything. Anyway, so this is Dasha, everybody. Welcome. Do you need the music? Or okay. I'll keep this.
I
So-
have to,
You have to do the bench, yeah. Do you have any questions before we start? Any particular concerns about this sonata, or you just want to play it for me and see what we have to say?
yes, I would like to play first.
Mm-hmm.
So I have certain places, questions.
Certain
the,
questions?
The beginning is difficult for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Actually, I'm going to come down here so I can get a little more objectivity, neutrality. Excelente. Great. Very, very good. And a perfect, in the schedule it said we're going to do spot lessons, but I feel like doing more than a spot lesson here because it's so rich and so apropos of our discussion. And so I realized the thing that I forgot to talk about, I'll get to you in a minute. The thing I forgot to talk about was sound, which is pretty idiotic considering that's what we do with the piano, we make sounds. And we talked about the body and the arm movement and the thumb and this and that, but none of this is worth anything if it doesn't improve our sound. So now we're going to see how these ideas can be applied here to improve your sound. So you said you had a problem with the opening?
Yes, I think it is too big distance from my hand, and that's why I feel the tension from the and I can't give the soft sound I want.
Yeah. Okay.
And it is also difficult the tempo because there is a random from the beginning, and then I don't feel like stable and I don't know.
And how about this? Is that difficult for you? Is that difficult for you? Not really. Okay. So let's address your problem first. So would you please play this chord? Just play it. I don't care. Any old way. Okay, now slide a little forward. No, don't play again. Just slide your fingers like this. Yeah, and now let your palm come down like this and lie down. Now, good. Now is all the tension out of your wrist? Look, you check. Now here's how I would check. I would check like this. Don't wiggle your arm. Now. Let's see. Okay. Now, so play again. Slide again. Lie down again. Good. Now do the same thing again, but this time with your other hand like this. So like this. With your other hand here. Slide and let the hand. It's like a balloon that deflates. Yeah. Deflate the balloon, deflate. No, leave your hand there. You're supposed to feel what you're doing. Yeah. Good. Now let it deflate. No, let all the air out of your balloon. It's a balloon, so feel this. Why isn't your arm going down? There. Did you feel something further let go? I mean, the heel of the hand, let it really lie on the bottom of the keys. Like that, yeah. Good. Let it lie on the bottom. Now, did you feel your hand change when the heel lay on the bottom of the keys like that? You see, your hand is looser. The muscles let go. Now, leave your hand here so you can feel. Put your hand here and feel. And now try to play that chord again without changing the state of your muscles. Just get the hand in like that. That's it. And now do the same thing pianissimo. come up with, and then breathe out. At the risk of there, you see? You see, the state of all your muscles changed from lying down and deflating. And then your brain eventually figured out, oh, I can just play like that. I don't have to like this because it's a big chord. The hand learns that it can be like a pancake, like a crepe Suzette. Yeah? So you play the chord, and then you get your hand into a crepe Suzette thing. Like, I can do this. If I can do this, yeah? If I can do this, then you can do that. You understand? Lie down. Lie down. See, your hand changed. Now your brain will eventually figure you can stay that loose and play it. Just stay like that and play it. Yeah. Perfect.
But I find this feeling after I take sport.
I
I
know.
think it is already too hard on
Yeah.
the sound.
It is, but we're going through a learning process. If you do this 100 times, finally you will just be able to stay like that and play it. But it takes many times. It takes many times. Because the hand doesn't feel like an art structure. It feels more like some ropes, some sort of ropey thing. It feels like it has no structure at all. But remember this one that Carola Grinia told me? This is just another version of that. This is independent from that. This finger is independent from that finger. This finger is independent from that finger. This independent finger is independent from all these other fingers. They all become independent when I deflate the hand. It makes all these fingers independent. Then they learn to stay independent and even play like this. Oh, I'm independent. I'm independent. I'm independent. It takes a few times, but if I can do this, oh, I'm independent. All the fingers are independent. Then maybe after if you do it a few more times, you can do it like this. Try. That's right. So maybe you won't get pianissimo today, but your hand is going to change, and eventually it will figure out how to do pianissimo. Okay. So the learning is to deflate the hand, so that all these are now totally independent from each other. Then tomorrow you'll learn to, okay, now I'm going to have more control over my pianissimo. Not today, because it's too soon. You're still used to playing it the old way. Now, I would like you to take this one and this one, please. Those two. So again, you moved beautifully. But could we move? Remember I said when we're walking that the body actually goes first and then the arm goes back? So now the arm goes farther than the A flat. The arm goes farther than the G. Try that. That's right. Do you feel that you have more control over how much dominion do you want? When you go too far. Too far. Too far. That's right. And now this nice rhythm. Yeah. That's right. I feel that that's a better reflection of this slur. Well, you moved your arm well, but when you move it a little too much, the slur gets a little danciness into it, which wasn't there before. It's more dancing. Yeah, like that. Just farther.
I should think about this part.
Yeah, this part. Yeah, like that. Good. Good. And all these. That's right. So you see the arm getting a little bit more into its dancing, lateralizing function. All of a sudden, it's a little bit lighter and a little more humorous. So is this a humorous movement for you?
Yes.
It's funny. Yeah, there's many, many funny things about it. It's like very sort of jolly. It feels really nice. And then he does certain really funny things like this trill here, and then And then he just like, he seems to get stuck here. And the arpeggios, they go on for like 2 or 3 measures like that. And it's like, he just like, the record player got stuck. and then eventually that's very funny. And even this thing, even that's kind of funny. And then at the very end, all these, the last, this little run here, then this one here, the underneath notes, the turning note comes at the wrong time. Like every time I hear this, I think, he wrote it backwards, he wrote it wrong, but he did that on purpose. So there was all these kind of sort of funny things about this movie. So when you get this lightness, even here, let's just play it from here, and let's see what we can do about this now. Did you just play these differently from the first time? When you played the piece for the audience, did you? Was this different now?
Yes.
Yeah. And do you think it was different?
I think
Because I put my hand on your arm
I
like
was
this?
thinking about this part.
That's right. Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's it. Yes. It's a totally different sound. Go on. Good. Now, would you do the same, please, and put your left hand on your right arm? That one. Did you hear the difference in the sound? Did everybody hear the difference in the sound? Yes? Yeah? No? Somebody didn't hear? Yeah. Yeah. Look, we're talking about fine tolerances here. But you see, that's an incredibly sensitive instrument. So, we're talking about the degree to which the hand and the finger move the key, and the degree to which the arm and the wrist join the notes. So you were very, very, very good. And then I said, oh, just put your hand here, and oh my God, the arm is just a little bit more in its phrase shaping function. And the hand is just a little bit less in staccatoing, and the arm is therefore a little bit less making every note staccato. But you see, your arm was, before, the first time, your arm was 90% shaping da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and 10% helping the hand make the staccato. But the piano hears that and it doesn't like it. And actually there's little tiny unevennesses. And when your arm goes da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and only the fingers are doing the staccato, all the unevennesses go away, and all of a sudden I hear a dancing phrase. Do it again with your arm here, with your hand. Yeah, so did you feel differently when you? Yeah? And why it's not that's why I want you to move this way. So that you never, by accident, make that note louder than that note. Because many times it was perfect, but a few times it was like that. Excuse me, that was gross. But if you move like this, then it's never going to be, that's right, it's never going to be with those wrong accents. So you see, putting the free hand here, all of a sudden, I feel what I'm doing. Oh my God, yes. Alan says the arm, oh, it really does shape the phrase. Oh, it's really. And all of a sudden, there's this tremendous freedom just by bringing the arm fully into that sculpting. Like you're 98% there. You just need a little extra arm here and there to even here. And if I do this, and then this one's going to grow, then these 6 notes are shaped. That's a real orchestration. That's right. I hear the 2 parts very clearly. That's one orchestral another, maybe a fourth or whatever. So you have to do these techniques like, grow the hand along the chord. Don't fall down on the chord. Grow it, that's it. So you see, you're shaping the sounds. You're shaping the sounds with just a little more precision. A little more, I'm really going to make this orchestral part one way, that orchestral part another way. Try together. Yeah. You see, when the right hand starts, she gets she messes up with this. You have to keep this one. Yeah. Good. And now here, again, with your free hand here for a moment, please. Can we make it even lighter? Again. That was better. Yeah. Yes, that. Continue. Yeah. Pardon me?
Too little sound?
Isn't the sound too little? Okay, so I was just thinking about it and you told me. So isn't the sound too small? And people ask me that a lot. I even get, don't dig in so much, just be balanced and make as much sound as you need. Oh, Professor, I feel totally disengaged from the music. Like I feel emotionally totally ambivalent, like totally, I don't care. My English is deserting me, geez. Anyway, and because this trying is so associated with emotional expression, and now, isn't my sound too small? Okay, maybe your sound is a little small, but how are you going to get more sound? Are you going to dig in again? Because what you have now, you had lightness, and you had you did not have any wrong accents. And what you have to do, you have to learn to listen for unwanted accents. Because sometimes you sound very, very even, and yet if you listen carefully, look, nobody can play more even than that. But could you, I can't play from that angle so well, but also this piano is extremely sensitive. Like every little thing you do, I haven't practiced a lot lately because, by the way, I have herniated discs in my neck and a pinched nerve in my right arm, so I've been out of commission for some time now. So this physician, heal yourself, and I am working on it, but it's not done yet. So that's why when you see me demonstrating, sometimes it's not as good as it could be. But you are not injured, therefore, if you lighten up the arm that much, your ear is very good, and you really hear you play as evenly as that. Now, if you want more sound, keep doing this arm and activate your fingers a little more. But don't go back to the digging in of the arm slightly too neutral. The arm is proactive in this. Try that, yeah. That's already good.
Should I do here? So, little movements?
I don't know. That's it. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know whether for I think it's an aesthetic decision. It's not a technical decision. Up, beep, 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 beep gives a different result from up, beep, 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 beep. They're both wonderful, but you see, you have the choice. But if you're aware, oh, one gives a certain color, another gives a slightly different color, then it adds to the humor. Okay? So whatever you like. Those are not pedal. That's a mistake. Yeah. Okay. Can we work on this? So, could you play this whole chord, please? Roll the arch. That's it. And now do this on your thumb, like that. And now do this. That's it. And like this. Like that. And now this. And is your thumb better?
I feel it like too.
Yeah, you do. Now remember that feeling and play. No, not even like that. Yeah, that's it. Not like that. That's it. Those B flats are always too loud. And now all of a sudden they're not too loud at all. They're almost too soft. It's amazing. It's great. I've never done this and had that result. It means you've got a very good thumb. You see, the thumb does not play loud by being too strong. The thumb plays loud because it's too weak. When it finds its strength, it can play very softly. It can play very soft indeed. But that strength is structural strength, not muscular strength. It's structural. Good. You see, all of a sudden, it's a little orchestra. It's a little orchestra, isn't it? It's another orchestral part. You manage to make that differentiation of the orchestral parts because your hand can. Why? Because it has a structure. That's it. And the thumb structure is very different from the finger structure. Each of those structures must know what their job is. Yeah? Make sense? It's fantastic. Do you like it? Do you like the musical result?
Yes, I actually feel that my hand is like this is one part and this is another.
That's right. That's exactly correct.
They are equal.
Yeah, you know who else said that? You know who else said that? Frédéric Chopin.
Really?
Yes. Go read the little manual that he started writing. And he says the second finger is the middle of the hand, not the third finger. Or as Otto Ortmann, the physiological mechanics of pianoforte technique, 1926, Ortmann said the fourth finger is the central rotation point. The Tai Chi artists and the Aikido, they say the third. Fred Chopin, he said the second. Now, why would he do that? Well, look, if you spread your hand out like this, the distance from the thumb to the second and the distance from the fifth to the second is the same. So so from that point of view, he's absolutely right. Yeah. But now you felt it in the context of an Alberti bass, which is genius. But did you? For me, the most important thing was, and I hope you're getting the impression that, of course, it's all about sound. I wouldn't do any of the stuff I'm doing if we didn't get an improvement in the musical context, in the musical structure, a better shaped phrase, a freer sonority, and most important, this structured or this orchestrally interesting Alberti bass. Yeah? The Alberti bass is one of the most complex musical structures known to man. What? That's stupid. It's just a broken thing. The Alberti bass has 3 levels of rhythmic activity. There's a quarter note, there's an 8th note, and there's 16th. There's 16th notes. There's 3 different levels of rhythmic activity. When you play the Alberti bass well, you get all three of those levels in the ear. And that's exactly what you did when your hand made you capable of doing that. So for that, you had to figure out, what is the structure of my hand? Well, get onto that thumb. Rotate around the thumb. And then rotate and rotate. And then all of a sudden you realize that rotation thing with the thumb being the pivot point. And then you felt the pivot point is here, but that's also true. That's also true. But we get it by going to the thumb pivot point, and then you feel what Frederick Chopin said. And you'll see it, it's actually true. When I'm looking at it visually now, you can really see it. Good. We're not going to work on the whole movement, we have to move on. But do you have any other one last question about that? And we've covered many of the important points in this first part.
I have this place.
Dun, 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 dun. You did very, very well. If you want to do even, you do a trick.
Sometimes it just forms together, and I know that it is written. I just don't have time.
You practice it as grace notes. You practice it as grace notes. Like that. So you actually practice making this note longer, this note shorter, and this note longer. This note shorter. So practice it as grace notes. You know, like practice like. Okay, practice it as a grace note with the accent on this one. It's a funny kind of a grace note. Ah, you see, if you put a weighted accent on it, did you see what she did? She did a weighted accent. I do a slap accent, not a weighted. A weighted accent won't work. Yeah. So the new research in the Beethoven performance practice indicates that he actually did that. He made it unequal. He actually made the 16th notes unequal in time. So you